哎，你好。
决赛决出的6支最终的企业，将在我们的主舞台于今天下午4点进行正式的6强 PK。然后我们的决赛入围者名单也将在主舞台4点钟进行一个正式的公布。然后感谢大家的参与，也欢迎大家到9月份到上海和我们再聚，感谢。
All right, a warm welcome to all of our viewers on CGTN. My name is Omar Khan, and I'm here at Slush Shenzhen. I know it sounds like a weird name. It's a tech event here in the southern city of Guangdong province, and it's known for these kind of tech events, tech startups. You think of Shenzhen, think of Huawei, think of ZTE, you think of DJI, Tencent. That all happens here in South China. Now, Slush is kind of this sort of young entrepreneurial event. I'm going to get my cameraman to slow down. We're not ready yet to go, but as you can hear, I'm sure you can see the lights, you can hear behind me, it's loud, it's kind of a party, but it's an event for young people. It's for these young entrepreneurs and future innovators to come together and kind of network and build relationships with other investors, VCs, and so on and so forth. But we're going to take a little gander here. We have the CEO of Slush China waiting for me. We're going to just swing by up here. She's just ahead, already networking with people. We're going to try and steal her away. We're waiting here for Wang Chen. She's currently in a conversation. She's busy. We can come back to me. Come back. Hold on. Let's come back. We're not so ready here. But as I was saying, so it's kind of a mix of business networking and a party. As you can just see behind me, you have this sort of matchmaking just over my shoulder here. People coming together, people having conversations about how they can cooperate. And one more thing I should emphasize is that it's also about both Chinese companies, companies from abroad. And hold on, she's finally made it. I know she's very busy. Joining me now is the wonderful Wang Chen. Thank you so much for joining me on the CGTN live stream. If you have a few words for our viewers, give us a little bit of a self-introduction. Tell us about who you are.
All right, so I'm the CEO of Slush in China, and as you can see here, we're right in the middle of the action, so where Slush happens in Shenzhen. And so today, actually, we have over 2,500 people, all coming from different parts of the world, coming together to celebrate innovation and tech and startup spirit.
Awesome. And we spoke about this yesterday. Having this type of tech event, this cultural, innovative spirit, why Shenzhen?
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you look into the tech world globally, Shenzhen is definitely one of the very few highlights in the whole world where the clusters of tech companies and innovators gather together. Right. So we actually had our eye on Shenzhen already a few years ago. But I mean, finally this year, we made the breakthrough to finally land here. Because Slush actually not only is about tech, it's about international tech communities. So we want to make Shenzhen actually the tech center of the world. I think this is the right time now.
And continuing this conversation, I want to ask, who should come to Slush? Right. I know you guys have had events in Nanjing. Now you're here in Shenzhen. You guys are going to go to Shanghai soon. You've had Tokyo, you've had Singapore, of course Helsinki where it was founded. Of course it's a big event. So who should be coming? You guys are all over the world. Who should be attending this event?
Right. Basically, our fundamental mission is to help the next generation of world changing founders forward. So it doesn't matter that if you have already a startup or if you have the idea, but if you have the passion and also the ambition to do something different, to make a difference in the world, you should come. Either if you are providing the help for them or if you are the changer yourself, welcome.
And just one last question, looking forward into the future, what do you hope Slush can become? Because right now you guys of course you have Helsinki in Finland, but you have this Asia focus. Do you wish Slush is happening everywhere? What do you envision?
Right. I think actually the true spirit of Slush is a momentum. It's a momentum for young people. It's a momentum for innovators. Okay. So we want to inspire the people to do something different, to make a difference. Okay. But at the same time, we want to provide the concrete help in terms of venture capital, in terms of technology, in terms of market access for them in order to scale up to really make their impact globally. So this is our mission, I would say.
An awesome response. This is Wang Chen, the CEO of Slush China. One thing she didn't mention is Slush has a big party later tonight.
Oh,
yeah, I know, maybe you wanted to avoid talking about that, but what Slush does is they have this sort of networking, innovative speeches during the day, they have dialogues, they have side panels, but in the evening everyone comes together to party. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue my walk through this wonderful venue, and I'll leave you to your networking and your business. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. All right. So as you heard, that was the Slush CEO of China's here in specific. I had mentioned that it's all about bringing these young people, bringing these innovators here. I'm going to get my cameraman. I don't know where we're going here. I'm going to go ahead here and just kind of talk about what we're seeing here. As we move forward, you see, it's not your conventional event. It's more of a party. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a sip of water here. It's extremely noisy. You see people talking, people networking. Get my cameraman to swing around. I'm going to back up here as we walk through this event. Behind me, there was something really interesting I saw. It was sort of a matchmaking competition. So these young startups that can come together and kind of find a partnered investor. So let's say you just got your first round of funding, or you're seeking that second round of funding. You can come here and kind of seek out who to partner with. I've been talking to some other young companies here. They're looking to make these connections. Not all of them are, sorry, I'm trying to make sure people don't step into the shot here. Not all of them are from China. So there's foreign companies here also looking to partner with domestic companies. Now, we're going to make our way here. We have another guest. We're going to try and look for him. I don't know where my other guest is. I'm not sure where he is. I think some of you will know who he is. He's quite famous. If anyone, oh, I see him. I see him. Let's go. Let's get my cameraman. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so I was talking about the lighting. You can see it's like this party feel, this sort of neon lights. It doesn't look like your ordinary tech event. It's more of a relaxed event. It's all young people. There's drinks, there's food, there's a lot of the good stuff here. It's not just about being serious. It's a mix of all of that. Got my camera to be careful here as my interviews. I'm going to get back into the shot. Hopefully, I don't know if he has standing right behind me there, Peter Vesterbacka, the founder or a big player in Rovio Angry Birds. I think he's a bit busy. They're pushing him to come over here. All right, as he makes his way. Peter, thank you for joining us here on the CGTN live stream. We spoke about this yesterday. You shared your thoughts about the tech scene in China. I think people at home know who you are, your history, but for those who don't, tell us a bit more about your journey through entrepreneurship, becoming a leader in the industry, and what you've created and what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I mean, I was involved with actually starting Slush back in 2008, and it's now become the biggest and best startup event anywhere on the planet, and super happy to have it here in Shenzhen, first time, and yeah, so that's one thing. And then I spent 6 years as the Mighty Eagle at Rovio, building the Angry Birds brand. So that's kind of like one of the recent activities that became the fastest growing consumer brand ever, and also very big here in China. And now actually, when I look here at Shenzhen and Pingshan district where we're at right now, I think it's amazing like how fast things have changed, and you can like feel the energy and, you know, the passion for building new stuff. So it's really, I think last 10 years we've seen a huge change. It used to be that technology was only flowing to China, but I think now there's a lot of innovation, a lot of new technology that is actually going from China and Shenzhen in particular to the rest of the world. So, you know, it's like 80% of all the electronics, you know, the hardware made here. It's like amazing development. And yeah, so I've been actually always interested in building these entrepreneurial like ecosystem, startup ecosystem. That's what Slush is all about. And also bringing kind of like the global ecosystem together. So, you know, coming from Finland, you know, the closest neighbor of China in Europe. So we're actually basically neighbors. So I come to China like twice a month. It's a short flight, 7 hours to Beijing, 8 hours Shanghai, about 9 hours to get to, you know, Hong Kong or Guangzhou. So it's super easy. And yeah, I think that it's fantastic to see all the young people here volunteering. So that's very much part of the like Slush approach. And the way it works is that, you know, you learn so much by doing things. So you join Slush as a volunteer, you build the best startup event on the planet, and then after that you go out there and you build the best startup. So I was actually asking the crowd here today in my talk that, you know, who will build the next Angry Birds, the next Facebook, the next Tencent, and I was happy to see that many of the young people raised their hand. So I'm convinced that they will build the next great thing. And we have actually a big delegation here from the finest Bay Area. So it's the Helsinki, Tallinn, Stockholm, St. Petersburg, just like you have here, you know, Shenzhen, yeah, exactly, Guangzhou, Hong Kong, Macau. So we also have 4 great cities in our finest Bay Area. So we're really focusing now on bringing greater Bay Area and finest Bay Area together. And I think that this is something that is super exciting because we have amazing strengths in software. If you look at, you know, our part of the world, we created Linux, MySQL. It's like an open source superpower, and of course very strong in games. So I think that this is something that we can bring to the table. And then here, you know, all the hardware in the world, all the electronics. So when we work together, I think we can create really like fantastic stuff.
I wanted a very thorough answer for our viewers. I want to jump in and ask, for people attending Slush in a practical sense, let's say you're an investor, you're a young startup, what can you glean from this? What can someone actually get? I know you're walking around, you're seeing booths, you're exchanging business cards, but in a business sense of getting things done, that's one of your mottos, getting it done. What can someone accomplish here?
And I think that that's actually what happens here all the time. So you bump into, you know, like people, new friends, old friends, and all of the best innovation. It's a little bit like, you know, it happens at the office, at the coffee machine, you know, so you have these like random encounters, and Slush is like the coffee machine on steroids. So here we have thousands of people, and we have like fantastic matchmaking tools and all of that. So we also facilitate it with, you know, a bit of AI and a bit of like technology. But I think that in the end, it's really about people, and people meeting other people, startups meeting investors, investors meeting startups, meeting, you know, your co-founder, meeting the person you needed to you know, code the WeChat like mini app or help you with the branding. You know, it could be anything, and it's something that there is kind of like no substitute for face-to-face meetings, and you can't plan everything. So it is really about a bit of like randomness, a bit of luck, and Slush just like makes that happen. And it's also one of the most international, most global events. I mean, in Helsinki at Slush we have 160 nationalities. I don't know the stats now here, but if I would have to make a guess, it's more than 50, which is pretty international for the first Slush event in Shenzhen. So it's a good start.
Okay. Last question, and if you can briefly go through this. You had mentioned to me, I don't know if you're okay to talk about this right now, you're doing a project, an underground tunnel of some sort, somehow connected to the Belt and Road Initiative. This is, for a tech guy, this is absolutely fascinating that you're going beyond the stereotypical realm and ecosystem. What's more about that project?
Yes, so we are building a tunnel, fast rail tunnel connecting Helsinki and Tallinn, 2 capital cities, making it one metropolitan area, and it's very much aligned with the IDA-ILU, so the Belt and Road Initiative, and it's all about increasing the talent density. So along the tunnel, we will have 4 station areas, and they will accommodate for 50,000 new people moving into the area. 20% will be university students. So it's all about bringing the talent, making innovation happen at scale.
Wow. That's absolutely impressive. Mr. Vesterbacka, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Without him, we wouldn't have had Angry Birds. We wouldn't have the tech culture that he's fostering here in China, in Tokyo, in Singapore, and it looks like it's going to be around the world. Again, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to continue our walk. That was quite an extensive interview. Again, that was Peter Vesterbacka. I'm sure a lot of you remember the game Angry Birds. Rovio, they made movies about it, they made other games. We're going to continue around here. Just give everyone a look at what's going on. I'm going to take a sip of water. Hold on. 继续, let's keep going. Give everyone a look. All right, as we make our way to the main stage, as you can see, As you can see, there's a panel discussion happening up on the stage. You have people from around the world. You have foreigners, you have, of course, local Chinese folks here sharing their experiences, talking about the tech scene, and so on and so forth. Now, I am looking for my third interviewee. She's one of the volunteers, actually the event organizer volunteer. Hold on. Let's just turn this way. I'm going to come back into the shot. Still here, guys. We're looking for, as Peter mentioned, this event is mostly run by volunteers. All of the Slush events are run by volunteers, which are mostly students. So you look at Helsinki, they had an event in Nanjing recently, and next month they're going to have an event in Shanghai, their biggest one. Of course, they had one in Singapore as well. And I've noticed it's all young people, it's all students, and with that comes this sort of young and innovative vibe that a lot of these people want to learn. A lot of them are open to talking. Sorry, I'm losing my breath here. And that's why I want to talk to. There's a few volunteers, 2 volunteers I want to talk to, hear their experience about what's happening here and what they're learning. Now I'm going to get my cameraman to shoot over here. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to take a look at my phone. 我看手机. I'm going to see any comments, any messages from viewers. Nothing so far. I'm highly disappointed. Sorry, I'm absolutely losing my voice. So you can see there's booths here. Hold on, slow down. I'm coming back into my shot. We found our volunteer. Come on. I'm good. This is one of the student event coordinators who's also making time to take part in Slush. Thank you very much. If you could just tell us a bit about yourself, what you do here, and what are your main sort of responsibilities at Slush Shenzhen?
Yeah, actually, I'm the event director of Slush Shenzhen. So today it's very glad to see so many people just gathering here to join us. And besides that, I'm the head of partnership in Slush China. Okay. Yeah, and yes. Yeah, that's my.
So you can look at me. It's okay. Yeah, sure. I was talking with both Peter and Wang Chen, and they both mentioned that volunteers and the young people here are super important. And in just a moment, I'll be speaking, hopefully we can find them, to one of the volunteers.
Yes.
You directing this, organizing this, running this from top to bottom, you're working almost every minute, every second with these volunteers. Yes. What's that experience like, having so many young people involved in tech?
Yeah, actually Shenzhen is quite a young city, and also there are so many young people here in Shenzhen. So we love to involve more and more volunteers, the young people, every young girls and boys in the university, and actually they are quite excited about the Slush coming to Shenzhen because it's the first year for us to launch here in Shenzhen. Before that, we are in Shanghai. So
you're going to Shanghai next.
Nanjing, Shenzhen, and everyone is excited, and we also love to see them being involved in it.
I know, as the person running the show, I'll give you one more question. What can people expect from Slush Shenzhen? That's a 2-day event. It's different from this one here. It's different from Nanjing. What should people expect from Shanghai? Sorry, Slush Shanghai.
More people.
More people. What about the event? Is it going to be a big party as well? Is it going to be different? What's going to make it stand out? That's your 2-day event.
Yeah, actually for Shenzhen, just focusing to industry, IoT and health tech, but in Shanghai, we have more theme and topic and industry will be covered during Shanghai. And also we will expect 15,000 people in Shanghai, so I think it's at least 3 times bigger than in Shenzhen. Yes.
All right. I know you have to keep going. Your director, Rinchi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to continue our journey. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm sweating in this heat, guys. So as you heard, she mentioned that this Slush event actually has a focus more on health tech and IoT, the Internet of Things. So we're going to swing by. I think my cameraman is going to lead back here as we continue. Oh, let's go. So they were talking about Bill. Let's make sure our cameraman is okay. He's going a little slow. Let's go. We're gonna keep going back. Keep going back. Let's keep going back. We're gonna look for our next volunteer. We're gonna hear his experiences. He's on a gap here, he told me. So let's find. I see him right there. He's coughing. Maybe he's a bit nervous, a bit of a dry throat. Michael, let's go. Hey, how's it going? Very casual, very casual. You can say hello to our viewers.
Oh, hi.
We need the mic. No, I got it.
Yeah, hi, all of the audiences. I'm one of the volunteers for today, and you want to hear my opinion?
I want to hear your experience. I spoke with a few people now. Hold on. They're talking about how you guys are really important to this event. You guys are helping run the event, but you can also learn from it. Tell us a bit more about those two factors.
Yeah, I mean, for the investors, I think being one of the volunteers, we have the great opportunities of reaching them and have the opportunity to talk to them. If you really want to go in deep to learn something, and I think it will offer you a great opportunity of doing that. I mean, Slush is a very good platform. I mean, the young teenagers getting together from all over the world, we learn a lot from this.
Right, so you just said as young people can learn a lot from this event. Do you have any feeling or desire to become an entrepreneur and start a company? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, to be honest, I might have the desire of starting my own company. For me, I'm pretty interested in the internet IoT things, because I think it's the future. And with Slush today also have this kind of company here, and I got a little chance of talking to them. I think it helped me a lot.
And in the future, you said you want to do the Internet of Things, but is there any specific technology you want to use or develop? Anything in your life or in society that you think needs more Internet of Things to get better?
Okay, as far as I know, I mean the IoT things, it includes if you can connect all the things together, it will make our peoples more convenient and help us a lot.
Last question, you're still working right now, you're still volunteering. Tonight there's a big music festival.
Yeah, that's right.
Could you tell us a little bit about that? What's happening tonight?
Well, there are 3 amazing music brands here today, and one of them is Bridge. I don't know if you ever heard of Bridge. I mean, the music are awesome. I highly recommend you to stay here and check them out.
So, as you just heard from our volunteer, who happens to be named Michael, my next guest is going to be Michael. Tonight is a big party. You have music, you have partying. Yeah. Do we have drinks? Do we have water? We have water?
Of course, we do.
We have Coke and water, Coca-Cola and water, right?
Yeah, we do have.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll let you get back to your volunteering. Okay, going to take a quick break. One moment. We're going to back up. Get my cameraman to focus here. So we've spoken with 4 people. My last guest is actually going to be an individual who owns a startup here in South China, in Guangzhou. Let's stop here. Let's wait here. He's right behind me. So I'm going to be speaking to an actual person who's looking to make connections, to network with other companies, to possibly build bridges. So let's swing back this way. I see him behind me. He's already looking at me. He's on his way in. Very much, thank you. Michael, thank you very much. We just spoke with a Michael, volunteer. So I spoke with some of the founders of this event. I spoke with the event organizer. I spoke with a volunteer. You're my last interview, and you're a company attending this event. When you heard of Slush, what did you expect, and what did you want to gain from coming here?
I think Slush is definitely a little bit more raw than the other events. The other events are a little bit more, this one I think is a little bit more creative, so more on the creative design side. You can see it even with the yellow banners hanging down, so it's quite cool. It's kind of cool to see a different element, but it still has the professionalism of a good event. So why I came here is basically to connect with other companies doing similar things, or perhaps create collaboration, and of course always seeking investment or capital for my company.
Right on, so that's what you're seeking. You're here to build those links, build those partnerships. Now, we don't know what you do,
right.
So if you could give us a brief introduction of what your company does, where are you guys based, and maybe a bit of a future outlook on what you want to accomplish. You are in Guangdong. We've got to remember here it's a Greater Bay Area. South China is known for tech. It's a hub for that. Tell us a bit more about that.
Sure, so my company is focused on blockchain technology development. I think China is the place to be for that. A lot of the blockchain space is really popular here compared to other countries. Although applications are definitely more mature in other countries, there's just a lot more potential here in the market. So I do believe that here's the right place. also with Hong Kong and Shenzhen being so close to Guangzhou, it's a great place to be to network and connect with different-minded people. Whereas if you're in Canada, if you're in, say, Toronto or Vancouver, you're kind of surrounded by companies that are doing something similar to you. But here we're definitely stepping outside of the box with what we do at Unity Labs, and I think it kind of gives us a good advantage in the market.
Right on. You had mentioned Unity Labs, your company. You guys do blockchain.
Yep.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Explain blockchain in the most simple way to someone that's never heard of it. You're in the spotlight.
Sure. Okay. So you can use a lot of the same words over and over, like trust and transparency, but I think that's a little cheesy. What we need to look at is if you have a book and somebody draws a picture on the first page, and then there's 3 people that are doing pages ahead of them. When the page is turned, that page is closed. You cannot change that page anymore. Any of the content on that page is set. So when you get to the end of the book, let's say that one person wants to go back and change one of the drawings in the book. He can't do that. So you have to follow the chain the whole way through. And then what you have at the end is you have a story or something to tell, a platform or something that's useful. And then it's something that is on a digital ledger that cannot be changed, cannot be copied, cannot be recreated. So I think that's the easiest way to explain it.
Also, I never imagined the sort of flip book kind of comparison to blockchain. Last question, I know you're here, you're trying to walk around, meet people. Any success so far? Who have you met here, and what's your feeling from the crowd here? Fellow investors, fellow companies, fellow startups, entrepreneurs. What do you feel from the people here?
Sure, I think it's definitely pretty energetic. I know a few of the speakers are quite popular in China, at least in the Greater Bay Area. So it's good to see them here. At other events I attended, it's usually a lot more higher level people. I think that this one has a little bit more of the startup vibe to it, which is great. So that's on the speaker side. On the companies that are here, also great. Good feedback from them. Working in high-tech spaces like AI and blockchain and ed tech, that kind of stuff. So it's great to see companies in the Greater Bay Area that are doing these kind of things.
Awesome. That was Michael Cameron from Unity Labs based in Guangzhou. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll leave you to your networking and your business. Thank you. Awesome. All right, we're almost done. I'm going to swing back this way. We're going to get to the middle here and almost wrap things up. So I am losing my voice. I'm incredibly warm. As you heard, we spoke with 2 CEOs. We heard from Wang Chen, the CEO of Slush China, her views on this event. You could see she was all riled up, having fun. Then Mr. Peter Vesterbacka, really vocal about his sort of goals and plans for doing this event. But you got to remember, he's really diversified. I got to actually interview him yesterday. He's really diversified what he does in Finland and in China. He was giving a speech earlier today. He comes to China twice a month. I thought twice a month was incredible. Why don't you just live here? But he's going back and forth between Beijing and Europe, building that sort of tech feeling. And then we heard from one of the volunteers, Rinchi. She's organizing this event, and you can see that it's actually incredibly filled with young people. I've mentioned this a few times, but it's kind of in a small room. Like when you come here, I expected it to be a massive sort of venue, but everything is put together. Everyone you kind of have this feeling of intimate connection with people. And everyone is open to having a conversation and to networking, and that's the whole point of it. And then we, of course, heard from the youngster Michael, who's on a gap year. He's kind of inspired by this event. He's looking to build those links to possibly in the future start a tech company. He mentioned he's interested in the Internet of Things. And of course, at the end there was Michael Cameron, who's based in Guangzhou, does a blockchain company. Believe me, I sometimes don't understand blockchain, but I think his picture book comparison was good. Now, for those watching this CGTN live stream, remember, you can always tune in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Weibo, and the CGTN Live app. You have all those 5 platforms to catch our live streams. You can also go back and see what we've done before, and of course you can see what we're previewing in the near future. So make sure to check it out, CGTN.com. Download the app, and all the information is there. Now, I'm about done. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've lost my voice. I hope you guys got kind of to see what Slush is about. When I first heard about Slush, I had no idea what it was. It was a weird name. And I'll finish this live stream with one fun fact, I guess one piece of information. I asked Peter Vesterbacka from Rovio, from Angry Birds, what does Slush mean? And he said the first time they hosted the event was in Helsinki in November And the reason they did that in November, Helsinki, it's covered in snow and ice, it's cold, it's dark, and the ground is covered with slush. So that's kind of melted snow. And that's what he wanted people to remember. There's a tech event, not in Silicon Valley, but happening in a cold, winter-based country. Anyway, there's people behind me. It's a very casual event. Everyone's having a good time. I'm gonna finish it off right here. My name is Omar Khan, reporting from Slush Shenzhen. It's been a great time walking through this venue. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Send in comments, leave your remarks on our multiple channels. And for now, it's goodbye for me. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.